All right, so I'm back. We got back last night, and as much as I love traveling, I love coming home. I love America. I love my country. Even with all the issues going on, I will always love my country. Yeah, my mother, an immigrant, always has brought me up to how great America is and how lucky I was to be born here and be alive here. So, you know, I feel grateful to call America my home. That said, today I want to talk about what is going on in Indiana with what they're going to do with Camp Atterbury. And before I get into all that, with what ICE is doing, they are making lots of mistakes. Okay, and I don't know how Indiana, if we want to be part of those mistakes. So I mean, I'll put these pictures up, but I have them on my computer right now. We have quotes. This is from articles. We are not safe in America today. These American citizens says they were detained by ICE. Okay, there's that. ICE secretly deported a Pennsylvania grandfather, 82, after he lost his green card. A guy was a green card holder, went to go get his new green card. Who hasn't lost their license, lost their wallet? Things happen. To get his new green card, and they arrested him there and deported him. And this is the guy who they told his family he was dead and he's alive in Guatemala. Army veteran and U.S. citizen arrested in California immigration raid warns it could happen to anyone. I'm a veteran. I'm part Hispanic through my mother. So, do I need to worry? Do I need to carry my papers around or something to prove I'm a citizen? But the fact that they're arresting citizens means that they are not giving us a chance to prove who we are. So that said, before I go a little further too, 65% of the people taken by ICE had no convictions. So none of them been convicted of anything. 93% no violent convictions. And a non-violent conviction be like they stole, which is wrong. We all make mistakes, right? There could be multiple types of things that happen that are non-violent because they said they're going after the criminals. And that can be interpreted differently, but I don't think nonviolent crime should be the main focus. The main focus, if you're going to take the people out of this country who are here illegally, you'd want to focus on the most dangerous of all. Nonviolent convictions is not dangerous. 65% of the people have no convictions at all. So just you can take the nonviolent out. More than half of these people don't even have an issue with the law that they're dangerous. Again, most immigrants tend to follow the laws a little bit better because they don't want to get caught. They don't want to be part of that and get deported. So there's that. So now let's go back onto what they're doing in Indiana. They're going to turn Camp Atterbury into an alligator Alcatraz, is what they're saying. And side note, when I got out of the Army, I was stationed at Camp Atterbury, and Atterbury doesn't really have the space or the room to do the facilities to do this. And I have this article, and I'll link it up to. It says, quotes, soft-sided holding facilities means these camps will resemble Alligator Alcatraz, a detention facility the Trump administration has opened in Florida Everglades with tent-like walls and fencing inside to surround the beds. So, and I'll put this up. I'll put that up, and I'm going to put this up too. So in Camp Atterbury, it's a training ground, right? So you have a lot of people doing weapons qualification. When I was there, we were mobilizing soldiers to go to Iraq and Afghanistan. So this is not a typical Army base where you have normal facilities. You're gonna have normal amount of barracks. You're not gonna have the same barracks. These are older barracks in this place, unless they've built some new ones recently. But a lot of what happens on Camp Atterbury too is they have families to come here on the weekends. They have like a hotel type thing where people can go camping. They have lodges. So you want to put dangerous people, quote unquote, into a facility where families go to camp. They have MWR facilities for soldiers and their families to go enjoy some of these things out there. You want to put them in this situation because I think I don't know where they're going to put them. I have an idea where they'll probably put them because I know we helped build some of the FOBs for training, and we had those 10 cities there when I was there where you could stay. You slept in your cot. You had the clamshell, and we had a burner to make you hot in the winter, And I don't remember if we had any AC in the summer. I just don't. It's been about 15 years since I've been there. I do remember the heaters we had in there because there was fire heaters that was burning, pushing a lot of heat, but you had to put diesel in the thing to keep it going. So they want to put it in a facility that was never intended for this. And again, they're going to cage these people up. There's no medical facilities really on Camp Atterbury. I remember I had an injury there. I had to go see the medic, and then I had to go to the hospital in Indianapolis. So there's not a lot of facilities to take care of these people. And on the FOBs, there's no running water. We had to bring potable water in. We used bathrooms that were, what do you call it? Like trailers. So there's not a lot there. Okay. So, all that said, our representatives are excited about this. I'm in the 6th District. Camp Atterbury falls within the 6th District. Jefferson Shreve, and before I talk about what he said, I want you to remember who he is. He is the guy who ran to be Indianapolis governor, lost, and then quickly pivoted to try to run for the House. So he didn't care about Indianapolis. He didn't care about the 6th District. He just wanted to be in government and have power. And since he's been in, he has voted for whatever the president wants. Jefferson Shreve does not have a spine. He will not fight for us. He doesn't care about us. He just cares about the power he can get now because he ran for office and won. Okay? You don't go from running from governor, I want to be the governor of Indianapolis, and be like, oh, I lost. Okay, let me pivot quickly to be a U.S. House representative. He said, Republican U.S. Rep. Jefferson Shreve, whose congressional district includes Camp Atterbury, said in a statement that he supports, shocker, the use of Camp Atterbury as part of our national effort to detain and remove criminal aliens who enter our country illegally. Criminal. Now, remember what I told you. 65% have no convictions of anything, and 92% have non-violent convictions. Okay, so they're not even they're going after everybody. They're arresting U.S. citizens. They're taking U.S. citizens, they're taking permanent green card holders, and they're still doing this to them. How many days should an Indiana resident sit in Camp Atterbury in their Alcatraz version of it before they get released? How many? How many do you think is right? Do you think I should sit there 2 days, 1 day, 3 days before? Okay, that's too many days. 1 minute of detention from a U.S. citizen is too many. You can't make mistakes with this, but they're making mistakes. Todd Young, again, no spine as well, because he talked a little tough at first, but then he changed his mind, and they reached out to him for comment, and he said, I'll say what he said. Staff and Republican U.S. Senator Todd Young's office told the Capitol Chronicle they received the letter Friday and have asked the Trump administration for more information about his plans for possible detention operations at Camp Atterbury. He's going to do whatever Trump says. Okay, he voted for Kennedy for HHS. Okay, he does not care about us. Jefferson Shreve does not care about us in the 6th District. Todd Young does not care about us here in Indiana, and neither does Jim Banks. Jim Banks, I didn't see anything in an article about him, but if they cared, they would want this overseen so well that they wouldn't even risk arresting people who weren't citizens. But they are. And even Tom Holman, I see if I can find it, I'll put it up. Skin color can be a reason to arrest somebody. We have to wonder, do we in Indiana want to be part of this? As in, do we want to have this hanging over us in the future? Do we want to be able to do the right thing? Look, I support arresting, deporting criminal, illegal aliens who are committing crimes. They should be the ones that we should be focusing on first and foremost. And then after that is done, we can figure out a way how to humanely treat the remaining people. Humanely. There's no point in us being brutal. It's almost like I don't know the right word, sadism, that some people are getting joy out of seeing people suffer. There's ways we can do this and do it properly. Remember, the Republicans in the 80s, Ronald Reagan signed legislation that naturalized a lot of illegal immigrants. It gave them a path to citizenship. I'm not saying we need to do that right now. What I'm saying is we can at least treat these people who do the jobs that we are not going to do, who we don't want to do, with humanity and respect. It goes a long way, and you never know when the shoe will be on the other foot. Yeah, we're a great country. I love my country, but you never know what's going to happen. No one can predict the future. And people have a long memory. And if something happens to this country that we have to flee and become refugees in another place, you know, what you put out comes back. What you reap, you sow. So you have to wonder, is this even a good move for Indiana? And I think no, it's not. The base doesn't have the facilities to do this. It's a training base. It's a training base for the National Guard and the military. They have ranges there. So what if an arrestee escapes and crosses a range and gets killed? There's so many different things that can happen. If this was a base with a dedicated jail, I would still find issue with it because we're putting innocent people there, American citizens, but at least it'd be better than what they're doing now. Taking a base out in the middle of nowhere that lets civilians on with their families to go enjoy a weekend camping trip, to be around supposed criminal illegal aliens. You have to wonder, you can tell they had no plan when they came up with what to do with all these illegal aliens. And now they're just throwing things at the dartboard to see what they can do and hope things that stick. But this is not the right way to do it. Again, and I'll say it again before I leave, if they were only focusing on the worst of the worst, okay? Criminals who are committing murder, I don't want to get banned or said the wrong thing. So you can think of other things I'm thinking of, right? Yeah, sure, let's do something about those first. But we're not. We're going after mainly people who have no criminal records, who for like it or not, are contributing to this country so much more than some people are in general. Remember, these people aren't entitled to any benefits, so these people work jobs that we won't do. And now we're arresting people and treating them so inhumanely for nothing other than to say we arrested people. I digress on that, I guess. Like I said, I am a son of an immigrant. My mother is a citizen, and I've mentioned that in the past. My whole side of my mother's family is all immigrants, and I think we can be better in this country. We should be better. We need to do better. And arresting people and putting them into an Alcatraz type situation, which really resembles more of an Auschwitz. If you've been there, I have. You can see the similarities and on these little tent cities they're building. We can do better. We need to do better. We should do better. And we should demand more from our leaders, like Jefferson Shreve, Todd Young, and Jim Banks, to actually have a backbone and push back against these policies that are actually going to hurt Indiana. Think about it. People come here for a lot of things, for sports, but you're going to lose people when they I don't want to give a state money that's actively helping and enjoying doing this to people. So I hope we can think about these things more often and try to find solutions that are actually solutions and not things that just harm people to harm people. Again, how many days do you think it's okay for you to be locked up in Atterbury as a citizen until they realize you're a citizen? How many days? If you think it's okay, how many days do you think it's okay for you to be out there like that? I want you to think about that. And remember, you have a voice, use it.